It feels good to be back here on another day, here on Breakfast Central, here on News Central. You see what we did there? Anyway, welcome to Thursday's edition. It feels so real. It's Thursday already.
Thursday just reminds me that the weekend is around the corner.
Wow. You know, I don't really like it. You know, like what we say. We wish you could have, like, you know, Nigerians. What do you think? Maybe let's add 2 more working days.
You guys, listen, it's already old at this point.
I don't really understand what's going on. Anyway, welcome to Breakfast Central. Yes, it's the duo. Unfortunately, Benga is down with a cold. He caught
the bug.
The bug, yeah.
Yes, and it's better that he stays at home so he doesn't spread the bug to the rest of us. Throughout
yesterday on the show,
it was a struggle for him.
He was struggling, you know, mic off, on, and him sneezing back and forth. But then again, we'll miss you, Benga, as usual. We know you're watching now, and but don't worry, we'll hold it down as usual, because the stories that we have today are stories that will get you thinking, and most importantly, we do have very interesting analysts and guests who will be joining us here on Breakfast Central to take a look at some of these very important stories as well. My name is Johansson.
And I am Olive Emodi. Stay tuned. We, of course, want to hear your thoughts as well regarding all the stories that we'll be exploring today. We're streaming live on YouTube at News Central TV. And then you can also tweet at us via our individual social media handles. And at some point, as we do every morning, we open the phone lines because your opinion matters as well. And we want to hear your thoughts on the stories covering the front pages of the newspapers this morning. Once again, you're welcome to Breakfast Central. All right. So it's a great time to be, if you could choose to be, apart from Akwa Ibom, if you could choose to be a citizen of any state right now, which state will you choose?
That's a tough question. It's tough because I can't really pick one without looking that I'm going to miss something from the other.
Should I tell you the juiciest state right now?
What's it?
The juiciest state right now is Imo State.
Imo State?
Yes. Governor Hope Uzodinma has apparently increased the minimum wage in the state. And it's all-round celebrations. We've seen how much has been increased to officially. And it's not just the minimum wage. There's a backlog of pension funds that they started payment yesterday. So it's a great time. And when I saw the numbers, quite interesting.
Very huge.
So apparently, they are increasing. They said, according to the governor, they were receiving allocations between 5 billion naira to 7 billion naira, but now it's increased to 14 billion. So now that they've increased it to 14 billion, there's also an increase in the way that they are investing in Imo people.
Yeah.
So he said that he's approved a new minimum wage of 104,000 for civil servants in the state. He made this known during a meeting with various labor leaders on Tuesday. And he's also increased the minimum wage of doctors from 215,000 naira to 503,000 naira, while that of teachers in tertiary institutions was increased from 119,000 naira to 222,000 naira. I want to stand up and give him a round of applause.
Yeah, let's just give him a round of applause. I think we're going to start. I think today's wake-up conversation, we have positive stories.
I said let's start on a good note.
Yeah, let's start on a good note. And after this story, I think we have another good story before we go to the others. But well done, Governor of Imo State. While he made this statement in Owerri, he made sure that some members of the civil service were present. And he did speak clearly that this is the reason why he is going to do so. He mentioned the fact that the federal allocation has improved tremendously under the watch of the current president and current administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. He also made mention that the state's IGR, the internal generated revenue, has indeed done fantastically well. If you recall, sometime in Q3, they had about 5.54 billion naira, which was a far cry from what they had projected. They had projected over 25-point-something billion, but then again, they were able to reach in Q3 5.
So the question is, how did they get that?
However, Q2, they reached 4-point-something as well. They got that because, I mean, the state has been able to, apart from the fact that there are taxes to be paid, there's also, Imo State has also done well in terms of trade, in terms of the economy for that particular state. Not forgetting, too, that he did mention the federal allocation, which has improved so well.
Yes.
And I want to say it here.
And also their monthly,
the federal allocation that comes in from.
And so if you mix everything together, from 400 million naira a month to 3 billion naira a month. So the question is, what is Governor Hope Uzodinma doing that other governors can learn from? Because 400 million naira a month to 3 billion naira, 3 billion naira a month is a huge leap.
It is.
So how did they grow their resources and their finances?
Well, another thing I think the governor has also done is that the Imo State has also been opened to a lot of investment, whether we like it or not. And you cannot talk about agriculture without also looking at that particular state, which is Imo State. But then again, I also want to state here categorically that if you're a Nigerian and you haven't wondered why your state governor is not doing much, this is the time to actually call the subnationals, which are the state governments and the local government chairman, because it's obvious that what has been said from time past, especially the few months or years, is actually coming to fruition, where they've said that they've received more allocations from the federal government. And I like the fact that governor of Imo State and also governor of Edo State as well, it's another governor that we might also want to spend some time to take a look into. I'm talking about Senator Monday Pueblo, the governor of Edo State. He's also carrying out a lot of works. The very popular what's that word again? Let me just make sure I put it in good context. The very popular destroyed and ugly roads that you have in Benin. You do have the governor who has visited these roads from last week, and he says, listen, these roads have been dealt badly, either by contractors in the past and so on, so he's going to fix them. And he said the reason he's going to fix them is because he's receiving more money from the federal allocation. So I'm wondering if all governors are really saying that we know, we've seen the figures, they're really high, they've tripled. Then what's happening to other governors? Why are they keeping quiet?
Yeah, I mean, what's happening to other governors is a very, very valid question. I think that Nigerians need to know that it's also their responsibility to hold their lawmakers to account, because the lawmakers will then hold the executive governors to account, to ask what exactly are these monies. I did see a member of the House of Assembly in Oyo State putting out a disclaimer on X. I saw the tweet yesterday where he was stating that everybody should know that he's not in support of the money that the State House of, I think 300, is it million or billion, that the state government requested for as a loan. I will look for that tweet before we finish. Yeah. And he said, I think I saved it. Yes, Honorable Shitu Ibrahim. He said, I want it to be on record that I, Honorable Shitu Ibrahim, representing Shaki West State Constituency in Oyo State House of Assembly, is not among other lawmakers who approved a loan of 300 billion naira on 19th August 2025 and perfected it on the 26th of August 2025 in an emergency. In an emergency sitting during our 6-week recess. It goes ahead to say the House is currently on a 6-week recess from July 31st to September 16th, 2025. But an emergency plenary session was arranged to approve such a loan without communicating it to all members. Loan at this time when all states have more than enough. Oyo State now receives about a 500% increase in FAC. Why take this loan? Why is the loan an emergency? And why was the sitting not communicated to the honorable members? So that's another story that I saw, and I was just like, doesn't quite sit right. I'm hoping that there's an explanation to that. Governor Seyi Makinde has been put in the spotlight. Of course, X has gone crazy with the tweet, with a number of people speculating that it might be Seyi Makinde's presidential ambition that this will fund. The conspiracies have started to fly up and down. But I don't want to distract from the conversation, being that kudos to Imo State government, Governor Hope Uzodinma, for getting more money and increasing their minimum wages. Beyond that, he's also said that he's keyed into the federal government project of establishing 1,000 businesses in every local government constituency, every INEC ward within Imo State. And I think that that's brilliant. When we see governors who are working, it's important to appreciate them. Sometimes we hear people who say, oh, don't appreciate the governors, they're doing their job anyway. But there are those who are there that know they're meant to do their job, that are not doing their job, and we call them out. So we must be as gracious with compliments as we are firm with criticism. So well done, and a huge applause to Governor Hope Uzodinma.
I think you use the right word, appreciate them. Not so there's a difference in this scenario where you say you appreciate someone for doing what they said they would do, especially when they live in an era or a time where people would say they will do this
and they don't do it.
Although I was still waiting for him to send the 2,000 plus students abroad. Because he had said he would do it too. So maybe he will still partner with Canadian High Commission or the embassy and then send those 2,000 students out to the UK and Canada. Governors, we don't know if you still do it, but we're waiting.
But let's also hope, promising and making this...
Because that's his name, Hope.
Yeah. this strong declaration is one thing, but acting out on your promises is another thing.
Yeah.
So I've applauded him for making these promises, but in the next month or two, we're hoping to start to see implementation.
Yes.
And the citizens of Imo State is why we're grateful that we have a platform that allows us to be able to share our thoughts. If you are a citizen in Imo State, at some point when we open the phone lines, please call us and tell us your thoughts about this. And then you can also go on YouTube and drop your comments in the live stream. But then again, it's one thing to make a promise, it's another thing to actually action on this promise. Let's see if Nigerians...
I thought you were about to say, let's see the edit.
No. Let's see if Nigerians believe that Governor Hope Uzodinma will make do with this promise. They're reacting to this on X. Let's take a few tweets.
But the question still remains, what is the rationale behind the wage increment devoid of peaceful and conducive environment to enjoy the money? Though you tried, but I think the most important thing Imolites need from you now is total sanity in Imo State.
You do, you are damned. You don't, you are damned. I don't understand.
Well, let's take another tweet. He could have stolen the money too, like some of his colleagues who loot everything lootable. We just highlighted something closer to that. But he decided to give little back to the Imo workers who deserve the wages of their labor. He also decided to not steal the sweats of retirees. He decided to put smiles on the faces of the elderly men and women who devoted the best of their youth and adult lives serving Imo. Not that he is doing too much. Not that he is dashing them free money. The reason to commend Governor Hope Uzodinma is because he could have decided not to pay anything at all. He could have looted everything and absolutely nothing would have happened because this is Nigeria and worst things happen.
That statement really breaks my heart.
That hurts. That really hurts. But Hope Uzodinma chose to do a little good to his people. Well done, Governor. God bless you for this one you did, and you are encouraged to do more. And I think
that statement breaks my heart because that's the mindset of every Nigerian or most Nigerians that say, at least he did though. The truth is he could have stolen.
Yeah.
How we have normalized corruption and theft by public office holders in such a way that when they don't steal, we applaud them and say, at least you didn't steal. Oh, thank God you didn't steal.
Or if they stole, we say at least he stole small.
It's just sad.
And then we have the comments which we discussed yesterday where the president said corruption is no more. But then again, can the minimum wage be raised just by proclamation? Is it backed by the law?
Well, he won't be the first person to raise minimum wage. We saw that happen in Edo State as well.
Even Lagos State. Lagos State said that they increased it from 70 to 110. Lagos State as well. Cornell says 250,000 naira should be the closest figure to a minimum wage, judging from the cost of living in Nigeria right now.
Well, the federal government already has 70,000 naira.
Yeah.
What he's doing is much more than what the federal government is doing.
But I think it's a good start. Let's just start from there. Alagbara says when he has been unable to pay the civil servants and teachers the 30K minimum wage complete. Well, this is another conversation you'll find on X and every social media space where some Nigerians have said that the former minimum wage, which was 30,000 naira, the Imolites were not receiving it, especially the civil servants. It was neither here nor there. We cannot verify or confirm that statement in totality. But what we do know is that the governor has come out in a video and in the declaration to make it clear that it's going to review the salaries upward, and we've mentioned that to you. Now we hope it will not be in a popular statement of a popular social media comedian where we would hear the words, "Let me see the edit." Or let's see the edit. Where,
just to again say that it's one thing to make promises, and we're not trying to be party poopers that see what seems to be good news and doesn't celebrate it. However, it's one thing for promises to be made, it's another thing for this promise to be kept, especially because there have been promises made by Governor Hope Uzodinma that have not been kept during the times of the campaign. So Nigerians, there's a breach of trust. Nigerians do not seem to trust the political elite such that when they make strong proclamations that seem in favor of the people, they take it with a pinch of salt. It's just like when your parents say to you, oh, we are going out, go get your shoes. You are half expecting that in some cases, you know, for those of us who grew up in a time, you're half expecting that by the time you come back with your shoes, they are out because maybe it's happened 1 or 2 times. So there's that breach of trust. The citizens don't trust the government. So Governor Hope Uzodinma, it's one thing for you to make a proclamation like this, to make this statement that could, you know, warm up the hearts of people. But the thing is, will you actually keep to your word? Will the minimum wage actually be increased? And will you make do on all the promises that you have made to your people? the whole of the country is watching. Imo State is watching.
We're watching. And talking about watching, if you could see my mobile device right here, that's it. We're also streaming live on YouTube. So go there.
Oh, do we have
watch
comments
right
about
now.
this?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Go right there, watch now, and drop a comment. I'm
going
going to read the first comments there. Right. Ugo C. I don't know if it's Ugo C. Ugo. Remember that. Anyway, for those who schooled in the early years, it says, you see why people don't view this YouTube channel? Really? Because why? You know you're watching it. That's why you're commenting, right? Imo State related news yesterday of new minimum to 104,000 and that of doctors to 533,000, teachers to 210 or so. Nah, not really. We shared the figures. We'll share it again so you get it. He said propaganda. He will never implement.
You see, I think this was what I was just saying.
Ugo, we understand you have trust deficits. We know.
And I mean, I don't blame anybody who doesn't trust them, because this is not the first time government makes promises that they're not able to make, fulfill. So it's not the first time. Again, like I said, Imo State is watching and the whole of Nigeria is watching. Governor Hope Uzodinma. Do we have other tweets?
We have another one.
Okay.
Our regular, of course, Mukwanye Chukwemeka says, good morning, Olive and Joe.
Good morning,
Thanks.
Chukwemeka.
Thank you so much for always keeping tabs. He says it's not about increasing the salaries. It's if they will implement it as soon as possible. If they
exactly
do, then he has done well. So implementation is very key. Very key. But let's move on to our next story. We do have a lot to cover. I did see this video or this footage some time back. It had to do with a lady whom we're told a guy sent her XYZ amount of money to come over to his place so they could, just get to know each other better. And she did not go. And of course, she was sued and taken to court. And she was asked to pay back the sum of 450,000 naira for certain reasons. She was charged for certain reasons. First of all, for indeed receiving the money, not going, and so on. But let's watch this clip first, and then we'll get to see her reaction as well, which she has equally put out, narrating the entire ordeal that took place.
Now Jennifer Gapu, Emmanuel 450,000. Go will chill go now. In the name, never matter over that. No. Because of Rika, he will say, I will not pray. Emmanuel Jennifer Gaga Mpola Are Isa. Also, I can pray.
Emmanuel sent me money for transportation that he wanted to see me. But Emmanuel is a friend that I met online. I don't really know him. I've never met him in person. So before Emmanuel sent that money to me for transportation, I told him that he should come over to my city. He said no, that he cannot go to visit a woman, blah, 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 that he wants me to come. So he kept telling me that he wants me to come, I told him, me too, I cannot go and visit a man that I don't really know. I've never met before, right? So, I don't know, out of the blue, he just, some of you men, let me just keep that part. Out of the blue, this guy just sent me 50,000 naira. Now, he sent me that 50,000 naira with a text message saying that this is your transportation. I want to see you tomorrow. Like, you are doing alpha mail for me with 50,000 naira. Where would 50,000 naira take me to? Mind you, this guy stays in Abuja and me, I stay in Asaba. So, you guys, please, I want to know if this whole thing does not make any sense to me. The 50,000 naira that he sent, is it for me to use it and do, I should do what with it? So, I just ignored him. I didn't reply that message. Then he came the next day when he was expecting me to come. He sent me a message that, why are you not here yet? Can you imagine? So, I didn't reply that message. Before you know, I started getting calls from people, threats from people, his friends. I don't know who he gave my number, and they'll keep threatening me, telling me that, his friend sent me money. So when I kept getting calls from all these people, I then reached out to him, and I told him that, okay, I'm no longer comfortable with what is going on, that he should send me his account number, let me forward the money to him. And he said no, he just flared up, and he said no, started sending me some kind of messages. He was so angry. And he said a lot of things that I would not like to say here, right? So after 2 days, I reached out to him. And I told him that, okay, now that you sent me this money, you don't want to, now that you sent me this money, you know that this money will not be enough, and you don't want to send me your account number, let me refund the money. Then you come.
Oh, wow.
Shame hide me. Shame hide me inside our camera.
Shame slap me for you.
Okay, so let's treat the cases.
What is going on?
You know what it is. First of all, whoever made that video had no right to make that video and post on the internet.
Which one? In court?
The video in court.
Yeah.
Apparently, I mean, she did address that towards the end of the video. It's a much longer video, saying that she knows the person who made that video and she's going to sue them. You had no right to do that. You're not typically allowed to make videos within the court.
So she can go ahead and sue.
So I think she
Yeah,
can.
sure.
So
You can do that.
the person shouldn't have done that. That's not allowed. So that's one. Now to the merit of the case. From what she's saying, people were saying that the man, let's call him, I wanted to say Emeka, but no, I can't use Emeka. Emeka is our very loyal
No, just call him Mr. A. Mr. A.
Mr. A. So Mr. A sent Jennifer money, 50,000 naira for Jennifer to come and see him. Jennifer didn't go. In fact, Jennifer said, how dare he send her 50,000 naira. And he's doing alpha female on top 50,000 naira from Asaba to Abuja. 50,000 naira. Is it for what? Is it for Eba? What exactly is it for? You know? So Jennifer was then taken to court. She paid, she was the court asked her to pay 450,000 naira in damages. First of all, there's so many loopholes. Jennifer did not tell us in that story where she sent her account number. How did Mr. A get your account number? Can you send me money if you don't have my account number? So you were obviously in agreement. He asked you to send his account number. You sent it. And if you were not comfortable at the point when he sent you that 50,000 naira, why did you not ask him immediately, sorry, I can't make it. Send me your account number, let me return the money to you. There's a sense of entitlement that this generation has. That is very interesting, right? If somebody sends you 50,000 naira to come, and you refuse to come, you send them their money back. It's just like, I mean, very unrelated. When somebody promises to marry someone and doesn't go ahead, you know that's another case that you can actually go to court.
Of course, I like the way you can drag these people to court now.
The seller against Stern was established there. It was a story. A man had promised a woman marriage, and then she sent him a message saying, oh, but you've promised me marriage. And the man responded, said, you know, basically trying to make her go away with money. And she went to court and she won the case. So those of you that have promised people to marry and you have failed to marry them, they can take you to
drag you to court now.
And they will drag you and collect money. You will pay.
Just budget your 2M. So
that being said, I think there are loopholes in the story. She didn't really need to go on. You know the way they say resist the urge to shalaye? She really didn't need to go on TikTok to make that story time if all she was going to do was to give half-truths and not share her side of the story. If you are going to enter into an agreement with somebody to give them money, then you might as well fulfill your own end of the agreement.
Ali, let's take reactions. You've said it all.
Let's go on X. There are reactions to this story. Our first tweet.
Oh my goodness.
Out of the blue, he just sent me money. Exactly. He just decoded your account details by wishful thinking and sent you money.
Superhero.
The distance between women accountability, be like from Nigeria to Australia. Olu Igbo, calm down. I'm a woman too, and I'm calling her out. Please, it's not all women.
Dave, Chigo's here.
It says it's a lie. If she narrated this story to the court, they wouldn't have fined her the amount. You and him agreed on coming. He sent money and you didn't come. He wasn't doing any alpha mail. Just go and pay your 450K. Well, she said she has already paid. She for preserve her shame. We didn't need this explanation because it's obvious lies. Exactly. This explanation was not necessary. This person begins with LOL. This is the funniest video I have watched the whole year. I don't want to say much, but you said a lot. He sent me 50K and the money is small, but you're scared to travel out of your state for security reasons. The money is small, but if the money is 500K, you can risk your security. I don't know what men want, but you honestly don't know what you want. I pity for the future generation of men, but your work is, ? Clap hand for Jesus. Somebody should wake me up in the next episode. And now, Olufemi Ayodele says she can actually cash out from suing the person that recorded her during the court session.
We just said that too.
And then moving on from Olufemi Ayodele, King Coin says, in Sherlock Holmes' voice, my dear Jennifer, the facts before us fail to align in any logical fashion. Okay, and that's all that we have.
Olive, I mean, I don't think I need to drop any spice of salt on this beef. because it's marinated, it's done, it's tasty, it's ready, and I think Nigerians have eaten it. And those tweets show that Nigerians will understand the entire gimmick behind a video. But just to advise Jennifer, all right, what you've simply done raises a question, and the question is, what kind of job do you do? You know, I mean, people, some in the comment section have alleged that these are, you know, the kind of people that you find who are ready to go extra mile and tell you they are available. And sometimes you find these people on social media where I mean, I saw someone put a tweet there and say you find some of these people, they will say for inquiries, they put their email address. Inquiries for what? And then you're saying they sent you money to come. We've sorted that issue out, how you got your account number, nobody knows. So please tell us, is he a superhero? Does he see the future? Was able to look at you and decode that, oh, damn, this is an account number, and sent it to you. How now, Jennifer? But then again, just a word of advice. I think it's a thing of respect to have, you could have retracted or kept yourself away from the social media space and just try and learn from your mistakes. But then again, it also shows what your principles are. And nobody's going to blame you or fault you for your principles. Neither would I. I'm not a judge. I can't judge you. But then again, it's just one way to advise that be mindful, because tomorrow, a guy who might be interested in getting married to you might be shown this video.
It's not even about...
You know? I'm just saying that's one. Two, then the society as well. Remember the society, anything you put on social media never forgets.
So I don't necessarily think it's about even a person who wants to marry her or society. I think it's also a measure of respect that you attach to yourself.
To yourself, yeah.
There's certain ways in which you should view yourself, in which you should treat yourself. And you can't demand respect of another person if you haven't learned to give yourself respect. So she hasn't respected herself in the way that she's carried herself. And I hope that she has people within her circle who will be able to give her counsel and let her know that she hadn't handled this well and that she can do better next time.
Yeah.
Every mishap is an opportunity for people to learn and to pick lessons from. And we hope that this young woman, Jennifer, that you learn the lessons that this story has shown to you, in that if you enter into certain agreements, you must keep it. Be a person of your word and don't feel entitled to anybody else's money. They do not owe you that.
Talking about, sorry to butt in quickly, I just wanted to see if we can squeeze this in because of time. Talking about women, I mean, just to clarify, one of these tweets, the guy was saying the entitlement from women is like from Nigeria to Australia. And I like what you said, that you're also a woman and you're calling her out. While Jennifer was, in a way, many have said, shaming, you know, herself and not having respect, there was another woman who was showing that, listen, you could be whatever gender or a woman and you can have respect, and she's been honored. We're talking about the Borno State lady who received 4.8 million naira in her account in this economy, but decided to return it. She earns just 30,000 naira per month, and she's just you know, a cleaner, works in a hospital and so on. But despite the fact that she earns 30,000 naira in a month, she received 4.8 million naira into her account. But guess what she did? She took her time. I think for 2 days or so, she went back to the bank and said, listen, this money doesn't belong to me. You need to find the person and refund this money back to the person. And that was done. That simple action that looks pretty simple, but it's hard to find in this time and generation, actually warranted her to be celebrated, praised, and to be honored by the Borno State First Lady. And we want to say, well done. That's a very good thing. Our reporter, what's his name again?
Umar Kirawa.
Kirawa,
yeah.
You know, actually covered this entire story in a package and a report, and it was very good to watch and to see. So while Jennifer was doing something else, somebody else was proving that, listen, you can be morally sound.
So I think, again, what that reflects also to us as people is the power of being a person of integrity. Being a person of integrity is, you know, saying you will do something and doing it, ensuring that who you are in private matches who you are in public, and even when things are not convenient, being able to do the right thing. Because 4.8 million naira, in some cases, some people will get that money and they will never come again. They will never come to work. They will disappear, right? So she getting that money and then rightfully doing the right thing, because that is the right thing. If money that is not yours gets into your account, it is not for you to spend. It is for you to go to your bank and alert the bank to say, this money entered into my account. I don't know who this money is from. It is not my money. Please, how do I go about it?
During the pandemic,
that is how a lot of people were entering.
During the pandemic, I mistakenly transferred 20,000 naira
Otilo.
to a wrong account. Olive.
All right, let's take a look at this video.
Well, let's take a look at this.
Sure, you've been monitoring the trending video on social media as adequately broadcast by Morike Arawa of Central News. Based on that news, Her Excellency directed that we look out for this young woman, listen to her story, share her story so that others could also emulate. So I will briefly read a small citation on who this woman is. Faiza Abdul Karim, a resident of Bonge, Zawiya, in the Sheikh Ibrahim Sheikh Saleh area of Maiduguri, works at the teaching hospital as a cleaner, earning a modest monthly salary of 30,000 naira. She shoulders the responsibility of raising her 5 children alongside her mother. Despite her humble means, Faiza recently demonstrated a remarkable act of honesty that stands as an example to many. The sum of 4,800,000 naira was mistakenly transferred into her bank account by someone from Kebbi State. Though she did not even receive the alert for the transaction, the true owner of the money managed to reach her by...
Well done, well done. We must celebrate integrity, good deeds, because if we have this, it permeates the society.
Absolutely.
And people, and I like what the Borno State First Lady did, the governor as well, and the First Lady, chaired by the First Lady, having an event and celebrating her. In that way, she would turn out to be the epitome or the eye to every young person who attended that event. Even the society, it will be the talk of town. Everybody will be saying, oh, did you see what happened to Miriam? Did you see what happened to Miriam? Did you see this? And it will form a story that wouldn't look like a folklore, but a story that will remain forever instilled in the hearts of every single person who had witnessed this event. And we hope that all those at the top would also do something similar, e.g., jailing people who steal money, lock them up. Nigerians, this time, not just community, the whole of Nigeria will say, corruption, if you steal in Nigeria, you'll be locked up. Same thing we have in China, Japan, where it is a tradition and people will be afraid to do something.
So that
like
when also our president goes outside Nigeria to say that corruption, we're finally conquered corruption, people will not second guess him because of little incidents like this. But kudos to the woman. We thought that that's such a brilliant way to wrap up wake-up conversations, to highlight and celebrate her. And we hope that that inspires you to, be a person of integrity, even when nobody's watching. She would have found a way to take that money and run away. Yes, they would publicize her name, but, she'll be gone. There's no pleasure that you can get from stolen funds. And I hope that this sub goes to setting high and mighty people. Anyway, let's share with you the top stories this morning on Breakfast Central. APC throws presidential ticket open despite backing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And ethnic groups react to Supreme Court's delineation ruling in Warri. We're still looking at the issues between the Shekiri and the Ijo Urobo people. Activist Omoyele Sowore appears in court again. And reactions trail PDP zoning of 2027 presidential ticket to the South. And the newspaper front pages will review these as well. Join us for all this and more.